What's up everybody? Greeny Kami here, and this is my review for Bleach chapter 528, Everything But the Rain. The chapter begins pretty much straight where I left off, except Ichigo appears right in front of his house. And he knows he's not in a Shinigami form, and he wonders how this is possible because he left his body at Urahara's place. He then wonders if Urahara maybe brought his body over, but then he realizes no, he can't, he's in Hueco Mundo along with Chad and Orihime, and he's glad they're not here because he couldn't fix his Zanpakuto and he couldn't face them. Then he realizes, well, it must have been Isshin, his dad. And then we see that Isshin goes to open the door and Ichigo just runs away. And then we cut straight to Akumi's house, and if you don't know who Akumi is, you should if you've read the chapter. But it's Ichigo's boss, basically. There he has a shower and dries his clothes off and stuff like that. And he apologizes for not showing up for work most of the time, and then Akumi just tells him to shut up. Yeah, he can come to her whenever. He has to listen to. You gotta put trust in his elders, basically. And she says how she is basically like an older sister to him. Ichigo makes a joke saying, "But you're about a decade older than me," and then she hits him, of course. And then they just laugh. Well, no one laughs actually now that I think about it, but yeah, I laughed. And then they hear a knock on the door. Akumi goes to open the door and sees nobody there. All of a sudden we see Isshin standing there in his Shinigami uniform, standing straight in front of Ichigo. Ichigo says he needs to leave, and then Akumi tells him to take her umbrella with him, and he does. So obviously Akumi couldn't see Isshin because when she opened the door she mentioned that no one was there. And then just as Ichigo leaves, Akumi notices that he left his substitute Shinigami badge behind, and she goes to give back, but he's gone by the time she opens the door. So she says she'll just give back to him tomorrow, which probably means we'll see her again soon enough. Ichigo and Isshin return to the house, and Isshin goes, "Oh, do you want to try some of my famous cooking?" Ichigo tells him to, I think he tells him to shut up or something like that, and then after a couple of pages Ichigo goes to hit him, but he doesn't. Isshin then tells him, "Remember that time you said I could tell you about the past whenever I felt the time was right?" And he goes, "Well, the time is now. The truth is, Ichigo, you're not really a Shinigami or a mere human. Your mother was and then it cuts to a flashback. We see Isshin lying on the floor in the rain, of course, wearing a captain's uniform. Now we don't actually get to see the back of the robe, so we can't tell what division he's in yet. But we see he's clearly injured, and then a young girl runs over to him, not that young, and then Isshin asks how did she manage to beat all these, how did she manage to kill them? I assume he means hollows, we don't actually know, but I mean I can't imagine anything else. But if they are hollows, I imagine Isshin was injured beforehand. Then we get a big reveal here. It turns out this woman is Ichigo's mom, Masaki, and she introduced herself as Masaki Kurosaki. Now, the fact that it's Kurosaki already points out the fact that Isshin is not a Kurosaki, and he's likely a Shiba. She then goes on to say that she's a Quincy, and then the chapter ends. That was a good chapter. It really was. Yeah, a lot of people were saying, "Oh yeah, the start of it was pretty boring." I actually found the start of it pretty good, actually. I say a lot, don't I? I just noticed that. But yeah, that's a big reveal that everyone kind of predicted a while ago that Masaki was going to be a Quincy. It was pretty obvious once Ichigo got his Quincy powers. So yeah, but I think it's pretty cool now that we actually have 100% confirmation of that. But now there was something said in the chapter, I can't remember word for word, but it was when Isshin was saying you're not really a Shinigami. Could that imply that he's not Ichigo's dad and Juhabach actually is his dad? Now, I'm not going to jump to conclusions and say that's how it is. I'm going to wait till we just find out. So this really just, it's a great chapter. I mean, we find out that Masaki is a Quincy, as I've already mentioned. We're finally going to see Isshin's past, as I predicted in the last review. Now I know in the last video I said Ryokan would be there. I was wrong about that part, but for most of it I was pretty damn right. So I'm glad that's happening now. We're finally gonna get to see Ishin's past. We've all been waiting for it, and now we're finally gonna get it. Oh man, it's gonna be great. It really will be. So now my theories on Ishin. The whole division thing. Now, from looking at his robe and the Zero Division's robes, they all have different ones. I highly doubt Ishin is in the Royal Guard, simply because the Royal Guard's robes were all different, you know. They all had something to them. So Ishin's just looked like a regular captain's coat, like kind of like the one I'm wearing right now, like. So that makes him just a regular captain. Now I'm gonna make a video about what division I think Ishin was in, and I'm gonna like think of every possibility of what division he could be in and why it would make sense and why it wouldn't make sense. That hopefully I can get time to do that before we actually find out what division he's in, which is most likely either going to be next week or a week after. I can't imagine they'll wait too long. I think also in the next chapter it's going to be Ishin's second name is going to be revealed. And I'm saying this now. He's going to be a Shiva, and Kain won't be his son, because if you remember back in the chapter where Ichigo goes to the Royal Realm with the Royal Guards, Kukaku says, "I'm sorry, uncle, but I have to do this," or something along those lines. I'm highly guessing it was talking about Ishin. Because it makes a lot of sense. Like, I mean, Kain and Ichigo looking very similar to each other, you know, except Kain had black hair. So I think there is a... Now, hold on now. If that is the case, and Juhabok can't be Ichigo's dad, it would definitely be Ishin. So yeah, no, Juhabok cannot be Ichigo's dad. It has to be Ishin. So yeah, that's like... It's pretty much set in stone already. Now, it's not definite, but neither was the Homosaki thing. We're all right about that. I don't think I'm the only one who believes Ishin was a Shiva. I'm pretty sure loads of people agree with me on that one. And I think we're going to find out in the next chapter. Not much else to say, so I'm just going to rate the chapter and end this review. 9 out of 10. Well deserved. I would have given it 10 out of 10 if it just went on... I'm not saying the chapter was short, because I mean it was relatively longer than the last couple of chapters, but if we just found out, if we just saw a slight bit more of that flashback, it could have either risen up to a 9.5 or even a 10, So yeah, 9 out of 10. This is Screen Economy. I'll talk to you later.